In this video, we're going to be looking at the situation we are all in at the moment. Christmas is cancelled, and I'm going to share with you 4 ways... That's 3. And I'm going to share with you 4 ways that you can get around this.
Okay.
Hey, this is Daz. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you are doing really, really well. I'm here to help you live the life you want and love the life you live. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and any of the things I mentioned in the video will be linked in the description below. Let's get into it. And make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to be sharing something with you that you may not have realised is actually a huge bonus. Whenever we hear something really huge, like, for example, Christmas is cancelled, the immediate thing to feel, the immediate emotion is being basically really pissed off. But the way to avoid that completely is taking a step back and looking at it from a different perspective. Right now, we're going to look at 4 things that Christmas is cancelled is going to really affect, and how you can look at these differently to make sure you remain in the Christmas spirit.
Can I get a beer, please?
The first thing is religion. Now, I'm not religious myself, but I can appreciate that this time of year is really important to a lot of people of different faiths around the world. And so having it cancelled is a really significant thing. Now, I remember years and years ago, I went to midnight mass. As a child, I was small, 11 years ago or something. I went to midnight mass. Now, my family wasn't particularly religious, and for some reason we did this on Christmas Eve, midnight mass. I suppose the pomp and ceremony of the whole thing, and it was just like enchanting. And as I said, I'm not religious, but that whole thing, I can totally appreciate the idea of Christmas Mass and getting together as a community or with family and friends. And it's a huge thing to a lot of people. And that may be you. And so the fact that Christmas is cancelled is like...
Oh, shit, what do we do? It's... we can't... we've got to... we have to stay at home on our own, just us. Now what?
If you look at things in a different way, if you are someone who has faith, you have that faith anyway, regardless of whether you're in a church. You have that faith and that belief, and that's part of your life. So really, the fact that Christmas is cancelled from a perspective of, we can't meet up in groups or go to church or have the midnight mass, or whatever it may be and may mean to you...
Mum made the gravy.
Shouldn't really make any difference, because you have that faith. You can still pray, you can still worship, you can still do all the things that you want to do with respect to your faith. It's just not going to be in the church. And so think of it that way, that your faith, your belief is not being cancelled. That's still there, and nothing's changing that. And so the very detail that you can't just go to a church shouldn't really make any difference. Yes, it would be nice to go to church with family and friends and share that joint worship together. Amazing. But if that's physically not possible, you can still have the worship. And so Christmas being cancelled from a faith and religious perspective, it isn't cancelled. It's more the groups of people meeting up is cancelled. So really, there's nothing to worry about in that respect. And you can still worship and you can still pray. It's all good. Moving on to the second thing, and that's food. Oh my God, food. I live for food. Well, I suppose most people probably do live for food when you think about it. Without food, you're not really going to live at all.
He's an idiot.
But I love cooking. I'm absolutely madly passionate about cooking, and something I look forward to the whole year is cooking Christmas dinner. I absolutely love it, and it's especially exciting when there's a group of people, like a big family or friends, and just a number of people to cook for. And I absolutely look forward to this, and I love it. I'm planning different types of dishes and variations on normal Christmas dishes that might make a bit of a change.
You think about everything.
But I love eating Christmas dinner and just the 37,000 different dishes on the table with lots of people, and it's an amazing thing.
Yes, sir, I like it.
And the fact that Christmas is cancelled and we can't have that group of people together to share the food and cook for is really upsetting. It's a real shame. And that meal that I and probably you have looked forward to all year, whether it's turkey, goose, or whatever dish you have.
French red pizza from Finders.
Just that whole lunch is just amazing. And that not being there is really... okay. But... there is an upside. Think about this. Less time spent shopping, less money spent shopping, which I'll get onto money in a bit, less just waste.
This isn't rubbish, this is my home.
Because obviously there's a lot of food, but often a lot of it goes to waste. And so less money, less time, less waste. And let's be honest, it's healthier. If we're going to eat less food, we're not going to have that massive meal. Well, it's better for us. We're going to feel much better. I'm going to feel much better. The whole idea of just scaling the thing down a bit, really...
Really, Daddy?
in all honesty, it's probably a really good thing. And if you think about it, you know, you're still going to have some degree of Christmas lunch.
Just one cornetto.
It's just not going to be the massive one with 10 people or whatever, or a massive family. That big pomp and ceremony Christmas lunch, Christmas dinner is not possible. So it really kind of forces our hand to scale it down to a much smaller affair, which actually is really better all round, to be bluntly honest. As much as it goes against everything I've said before, but eating less, better. Spending less money, better. All the time spent shopping, you know, that's not going to be there. Better. This is actually much, much better all round. And so really, I said, when you think about this differently, not having that massive, huge party type of lunch really is better for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Now, before I go on to the other 2 points, make sure you like the video and comment below, what's your Christmas going to be like this year? What are you going to be doing? Moving on to number 3, it's presents. Now, this is perhaps a real first world kind of problem, but the thing with Christmas, it's known for presents. Probably more so with kids. Kids always love getting presents from Santa, and they come down in the morning, there's the presents under the tree, and it's all amazing.
And before you go crying to your mom, that's my cell phone you're feeling.
And also between adults, giving presents to people, and let's be honest, receiving them is lovely. Giving presents to people you love, people you care for, and giving them something as a gift, it's lovely, and it's so wonderful to see people's faces when you give them a gift and they're like,
Oh my God.
they're just so happy. And again, kids love it. You know, when kids are opening their presents and their face lights up, particularly if it's a surprise and it's something they've wanted all year and they just did not think they were going to be getting it, and there it is when they open the present. Amazing. And just kids' faces on Christmas morning is just, you know, something to be cherished. But if Christmas is cancelled, shit, now what? Does that mean no presents? Not exactly, no. It just means it's going to be much more of a scaled down event. Of course, not being able to be around people when they open the presents is a bit of a sad thing, particularly, you know, seeing their face, and if it's kids, you know, you're going to miss out on that. But it doesn't mean that the whole thing is kind of dead, cancelled, no. Obviously, there can still be gift giving. It's just more of a remote thing, you know, drop off at the house, and so people open it within their own support groups or support bubbles.
Isn't it delightful?
It's a maybe more scaled down version, because whereas before it's just go for it madly with presents and everything, this year has been pretty shitty all round, particularly when it comes to finances.
You got my money?
A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people really had to rein things in financially. And so when it comes to Christmas, whilst there's less Christmas spirit around, just because the year has been pretty damn shitty,
I didn't like it.
there's probably less money around to splurge on unnecessary things like extra presents. And so I think the overall scaled down Christmas is probably a good thing all round, because it's so easy to just go over the top and just really just more presents, and trying to outdo other people. And it is quite frankly ridiculous. I've been guilty of this, and I think most people have to some degree, particularly if you've got kids. And so being able to scale it down and put it back to really what matters, not only does that save money, which if times are hard, that's an amazing thing, but also not only are you spending less time going around the shops trying to find the perfect gift for that person, you know, wrapping paper and wrap it and all that, but I think the whole thing is been scaled down a bit, and I think that's only a good thing from all our sanity and our wallet, to be honest, because this has been a tight year and a very difficult year. And so just reining things in for Christmas doesn't mean we can't enjoy Christmas. It's just more realistic, to be honest. And I think doing that will have a massively better effect on all of us.
Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
And that brings us on to point number 4, spending too much money. As I said before, it's so easy to go really madly overboard when spending at Christmas. As things are a lot tighter now, reining that in is just the best idea.
What?
That's right.
And not only is money normally spent on presents, but also lots of food and entertaining at home, as well as going out and drinks after work. There's just a lot more money spent in this month of December generally, but also travel. A lot of people don't live super close by their families or relatives, and so often there's a lot of travel to and from other relatives to have a big family get together or a group of friends somewhere. There's a lot of travel. Sometimes that's abroad, if you come from another country. And so there's a lot of money spent on travel around this time of year as well.
He was gonna go to London.
And so not being able to do all the travelling initially is a bit of a...
Oh, shit. I can't go and visit all these people.
But if you look at it from a different perspective, not having to travel is a lot easier because there's so many people trying to get on those last trains and it's crowded and the prices go up.
Why is this happening?
So there's less hassle for travelling, which ultimately saves you time, saves you lots of money. There's probably less presents going to be bought because of that, so that's also better financially. There's going to be less food being bought because there's less people at the dinner table. So overall there's going to be so much less money spent, which ultimately is a good thing, because at the end of a year that's been crippling financially, the last thing we really should be doing is spending shitloads of money. And whilst that feels maybe a bit Scrooge and a bit bar humbug, it's the sensible thing to do. And I know it's all about celebrating and coming together as a family, a community.
You can't do that. Have you met me?
That can still be done, but
Scale down a bit.
and I think by doing that sort of thing and pulling together by close friends, family, whoever your kind of groups are, it's going to build relationships and solidify relationships much better than just the usual splurge of money everywhere.
Smart thinking, son.
And I honestly think this year, whilst it's been a bizarre year, to be honest, there's been a lot more close-knit communities being formed and friendship groups. I know for me, even though I've not seen a lot of people physically, I feel a lot closer to some people just because of those bonds that have been made, and that's an amazing thing. But ultimately, by not having to spend so much money on all of the usual pomp and ceremony,
I'm cool with that.
is really a good thing, and that will help us all to go into the new year maybe a little bit less in the red, if not in the red at all, and just go ahead and look forward to the new year. Obviously this situation isn't over by any means, but I think most things, if you look at it in a different way and trying to see the good in it or even the fun side of it, then it's going to be a much, much better deal for everyone. Now, as promised, here's the cheeky bonus that you perhaps didn't realise. Now, on the subject of not being able to travel, there is an absolute upside to this, because think of all those relatives and sometimes friends that you are obliged to go and see, that you have to go and visit this aunt or this uncle, this cousin or whoever, because it's just what you do at Christmas.
That sucks.
You wouldn't spend any more time with them than you had to. You don't see them any other time in the year apart from Christmas, and you are forced to go and see them. Bonus! You don't have to see them.
Yeah!
You don't have to see all those people that annoy the shit out of you. Now, you've got a get out of jail free card, and you haven't got to see all those people you don't really want to see. You can blame lockdown. It's a massive bonus. Trust me, it's the introvert's dream. Lockdown has been an absolute dream for people who are introverted. Now, I'm an extroverted introvert, so I kind of shout about being introverted. Now, there's more to it than that. But the point is, it's a dream because you don't have to leave the house. You don't have to see people. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so, I want to leave you with that. Take some positive out of this, that you don't have to see all those people that really, really annoy you. You can avoid them, and that's a bonus. Now, another cheeky bonus for you. Check out my free cheat sheet on things you can do each day to help you live a better life. There'll be a link in the description for that. And if you have enjoyed the video, I really would appreciate a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe down here. And I've got another video which I think you'll like on how to be the person that makes you happy. And you can check that out up here. And remember, you can live the life you want and love the life you live. Till next time, guys. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.